8:48, where Nevada comes to talk. Daybreak, Nevada, on a Friday morning, the 8th day of May. Thank you so much for joining us. Republican National Committee National Chairperson Liz Harrington will be with Kevin Wall, live and local, along with Rico Aller from Carson Insulation, if I can get the words out of my mouth, and Sam Peters, candidate for Congressional District 4. That's coming up following Chris Barnes' report of USA Radio Network News at the top of the hour. I'm joined right now by a gentleman who, and I say this not without any fear of retaliation, is the man who is, depending upon your point of view, is either responsible or is to blame for saving my life a couple of years ago. Dr. David Byun, he is at William B. Ryrie Hospital here. He is also the Chief Health Officer and the Chairman of the Board of Health for White Pine County. Dr. Byun, it is a pleasure to have you on with us again this morning. I always enjoy having the chance to chat with you. We are finally starting to emerge from what may be a treacherous time. Talk to us a little bit about what you discussed with the County Commission yesterday in regard where we are into coming out of, and I don't have the luxury of being able to have your PowerPoint slide on this, but tell us a little bit about how you feel that we're coming out of this, and maybe we're getting to the point where we're going to be a lot safer for a while.
Well, basically, for our county, a lot of residents, a lot of folks may have felt that we were already in phase one long ago, but that wasn't really true. And that's because we don't live amongst ourselves. We actually live among other counties and whatnot. And what we needed to see in order to get into phase one is, number one, the numbers for the state as a unit to actually go down and have a certain infrastructure in place. We didn't have that before. For example, we didn't have a robust testing capacity. We didn't have a contact tracing capacity. Contact tracing, that was me. That's it. And then we didn't have all the healthcare infrastructure needs, like PPEs and things like that. So we needed to have that strengthened, solidified, so that we would get into phase one and hopefully for future phases as well. The discussion yesterday with the Board of Health was pretty much have everybody have a good understanding why things are done the way they're done. They're not random. They all come from a place of logic, a place of science, and I wanted to have everybody have a good understanding where the decision-making was coming from. I happen to have that understanding because that's the lens that I use. But for the most folks, I wanted to have that empowerment as well. So that was pretty much the discussion, what was needed in order to get into future phases.
Do you think that we are in a significantly better place now than we were 6 weeks ago?
Yes, we are in a better place. We have a better understanding of the disease. Number one, we have the knowledge. Number two, we have a good understanding what we need, and we are getting those needs done. For example, we understand about what we need to do for prevention. Right now, the only thing in existence for preventive measure is social distance. Until we have a vaccine, this is it. That's the only thing that we got. Then the testing. Now we have more testing capacity. We have that angle to rely on. We are able to, myself and the hospital, were able to strengthen our contact tracing capacity. We're able to track. We're able to quarantine. And right now, we're able to at least do something about it when it comes to treatment. When we have all these 6 elements, pretty much is a chain while chain containing COVID-19, that's when we can have all the other good things going on, such as going back to our daily lives, having our business commerce, our schools, our churches, the recreation. So that wall needs to be strengthened even further for our future phases. So that's the basic principles of what the pretty much the entire country is trying to do.
The one thing that concerns me, and we are dealing with a virus here, and viruses are known for the way that they mutate. I've got only about a minute here, but do you fear that we're going through this, and yet we may see mutations of this that might make it much more difficult for us to continue in reopenings?
It is possible, but for the coronavirus family of viruses, it doesn't mutate like the flu does, the influenza does. So from that standpoint, knowing what we know about this one, we can actually be rest assured. But in science, never say never. We are always surprised by new things we find in science, and it is always a possibility. But knowing what the coronavirus family does, it is less likely than the influenza.
Let us hope that that is the case. Dr. Byun, you are a fine gentleman. I have enjoyed the time that I have known you, and I look forward for us to have additional conversations regarding hopefully much happier topics than dealing with what we've had to deal with over the last 2 months or so. Thank you so much for spending time, and we will talk again, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Byun, and I don't say that lightly. I had an infection pop up out of virtually nowhere, and thanks to Dr. Byun and the others at our William B. Ryrie Hospital here in Ely, they basically saved my life. And that is one of the things that people such as Dr. Byun, I trust them greatly about that.